Welcome back to Greek class as we continue on with James Efford's A Grammar for New Testament Greek. We're in lesson 5. We're going to get some new tenses today, or rather some new voices of tenses we already know. So I'm on page 23 of Efford's book, lesson 5. In English, there are two voices, active and passive. These reflect the action of the verb in relation to the subject. So in the active voice, the subject does the acting. John hit the ball. In the passive voice, the subject receives the acting, is acted upon. The subject is passive. The ball was hit by John. So Greek has these, but Greek also has a middle voice, which is the action is done with reference to the subject or for the benefit of the subject. So he says here you can have a direct middle where John is washing himself, or you can have an indirect middle, which would be something like, I was asking something for myself. I was buying food for myself. And you just got to kind of take this as context shows you. So section B on page 23, in some cases, however, there is a complete change of meaning if you move from the active to the middle voice. So in the active voice, archo means I rule, but archomai means I begin. So you just have to learn that as a new vocabulary word, really. C, in the present system, the middle and passive, they have the same endings. They have the same form. So you're going to have to tell from context whether it's middle or passive. And D, the present, middle, and passive indicative is formed as you see it here. All right, so to form the present indicative, middle, and passive, you take the present stem, and then you add this set of endings. So the endings are amai, a, etai, ometha, estha, antai. And so when we put all that together, we get liamai, lie, liatai, liametha, liestha, liantai. So remember, for the purpose of accent, omicron iota or alpha iota at the end of a word, and the ultima at the end, counts as short. So normal, verbal accent rules: short, ultima, count back 3, 1, 2, 3, and the accent goes there. So, so this is I am loosing for myself, or I was loosed, I was freed. Lie, you are freeing for yourself, or you are freed, loosed. He, she, or it is being loosed, or is loosing for himself, herself, or itself. You get the idea. And then we have an infinitive form, liesthai, to be loosing for oneself, or to be loosed. So middle voice or passive voice. Again, you'll get a feel for this. Obviously in English we use the passive, and we'll see here in a moment that that the passive voice can be noticed by the agent, which we'll talk about in a moment. So we're also going to learn the middle passive endings now for the imperfect tense, so to place this in past time. So like every other imperfect in the indicative mood, it has an epsilon augment, lets you know you're in the imperfect, plus the present stem. Should make that clear, that's the present stem, plus this set of endings. Amen, u, eta, ometha, estha, unto. So we end up with eli amen, eliu, eliata, eliametha. Forgot my accent there. Whoops, got to be in Greek to get it. Eliametha, oh man, we got all kinds of typos here. And now that accent's on the wrong one. Let's try again. Eliestha, elianta. Okay, so I was loosing for myself, or I was freed. You were loosing for yourself, or You were loosed. You were freed. Okay, you get the idea. Okay. So that's it. Two new sets of endings and one new grammatical concept, the middle and passive voice. So on the top of page 25, we get an example here of how the passive voice works. How to show agency. You show agency with this preposition, hypa, plus the genitive, means by. So this is by the Lord, Kyria. So like the Kyrie on church, in church on Sunday. Lord have mercy, Kyrie. So Kyriou, it would be the genitive. So sotamai, I am being saved by the Lord. Agency can also be shown by the dative, and the dative is used typically with things that are not persons, that are impersonal. So here, the Lord is a person, so I use hypa plus the genitive. But Sophia, wisdom, is not a person, it's an abstract concept, so we'll use the dative. I am being saved, te Sophia, by the wisdom, te semeras, of the day. Okay. All right, so let's, at this point, I'm going to go through the sentences and give the correct answers, so you should come back to this portion of the video later in the week, take a day or two, learn the vocabulary, learn the forms. Oh, I should go through the vocabulary quickly. Speaking of that, on page 25, hamartano, I sin. Anabino, I go up. Apathnesko, I die. Balo, I throw. Didasco, I teach. Dioko, I pursue or persecute. Doxadzo, I glorify. Kradzo, I cry out. Meno, I remain, I abide. Peitho, I persuade. Chairo, I rejoice. And hypa, with the genitive, it means by. But if it's followed with the accusative, it means under. So prepositions in Greek will have different meanings depending on which case follows them. So hypa plus the genitive means by, and plus the accusative means under. Okay. Now I'll go through the sentences, so you should take some time, take a couple days, learn the vocabulary, learn the forms, then come back and work on our sentences with the 4 steps that we use now for sentences. So here is number 1. So first we need to find our verb. Hey Sophia tes basileias edidaskata te zoe arenes. Which one of these words is the verb? Which one has verbal endings that you've learned? Of course, it's edidaskata, and that verb, let's copy it down here. So that's our verb. And now let's parse it. It is imperfect, indicative. It's middle passive in form. I guess we'll wait to find out exactly how it's being used. But it's middle passive in form. And then where does that ending fall? Amen ou eta. So it's third singular. So it's from didasco. And so we're going to translate this as he, she, or it was teaching for itself or was being taught. We'll have to find out exactly how that goes. B, what is there a nominative to serve as the subject? Do we see a noun with nominative endings? Ace, that's not a nominative ending that I know. A, that's not a nominative ending. This was our verb. As, that's not a nominative ending. Hey Sophia, that's the nominative. So we add that to our sentence. So now we've got the wisdom, let's just say it's passive for now, was being taught. Okay. Is there an accusative? An accusative. The wisdom was being taught. I don't see any accusatives. I got a genitive, tes, basileios, so I know that's genitive. Of course, this os ending could be an accusative plural ending, right? But the Greek is often very helpful with the definite article, that's genitive. So I know that tes basileios, I know that's genitive. Okay, so that means, nope. You know what we could ask? Oh, now we got to have a C part C.1 and C.2. Because really, I shouldn't be looking for an accusative, should I? An accusative is if my verb is active voice. So now I've got to kind of adjust what we do here in our third step. So we're going to call this C1 and C2. C1, if verb is active, look for an accusative, direct object. However, if verb is passive, look for an agent. And how are our agents shown? Right? We talked about this, how to show agency. I'm looking for hypa plus a genitive, or I'm looking for a dative. So do we see either one of those things here? Well, there's no hypa, so that's that, but there is a dative. By the life. I think that's going to be what this is. So now I've got the wisdom was being taught by the life. And now D, I try to fit everything together word by word. But we'll start with our skeleton here. And let's see. He Sophia tes basileios. I have a genitive. How do I translate the genitive? Of the kingdom. The wisdom of the kingdom. Edidaskata was being taught te zoe by the life. Here's another genitive. Erenes. So how do I translate it with of? By the life of peace. Okay, number 2. Ebaptidzanta exousia. Where's my verb? Ebaptidzanta. What's the parsing of that? Well, I can see it's imperfect. Middle passive. It's, of course, indicative, because that's what we're using so far. It's third plural. So it's they were being baptized. Exousia. So I've got a passive verb. I don't see, there's no nominative, right? No nominative. So the subject is just they. And I've got a passive verb, or it might be passive at least. It could be middle, but it might be passive. So I'm going to look for an agent. I don't see hypa plus the genitive, but sure enough, I see a dative. They were being baptized by authority. And it's a question, so in English we'd say, were they being baptized by authority? 3. Sodzata hypatu kariu tes doxes. Kind of like our example up above. So my verb is sodzatai. That is present, indicative, middle passive, third singular. It's from sodzo, so it's he, she, it is being saved. Do I see a nominative? I do not. No nominatives there. I've got a passive verb, or it could be passive, so I'm going to look for agency. Do I see hypa plus a genitive? I sure do. Hypa tu kariu. So I've got he, she, it is being saved by the Lord. Tes doxes, genitive. So I translate it with of glory. He, she, or it is being saved by the Lord of glory. 4. Kaires te cardia kai meneta te agape. Okay, like last week we talked, I have a kai here. So I should look for a verb on both sides of the kai. So we'll take the first side first. Do I see a verb on the left of kai? I sure do. Kaires. That's present, indicative, active, second singular from chairo, so it's you rejoice. Do I see a nominative? I do not. Do I see something in the accusative? No, rejoice is not the kind of word that's really going to take an accusative, is it? You rejoice. So I'm just going to have to take the words in order, translate them. Oh, there's a typo. Should have a iota subscript. Let's see here. Whoops. There we go. So I have a dative here. How do I translate the dative? With to or with or for. So you rejoice. Whoops. You rejoice with heart. Or maybe it's in heart. You rejoice in heart. Kai. And, okay, now we'll do the second half of the verb. Second half of the sentence looking for a verb, and there it is, menata. That is present, indicative, active, second plural. Y'all remain. So you rejoice in heart, and y'all remain te agape, another dative, in love. You, singular, rejoice in heart, and y'all remain in love. Okay. 5. Turn the page. Didaskata, tein Sophian, tes horas, kai ediokata, hipa tes basileias, tes hamartias. Okay, I've got a kai there, so I've got a verb on each side. Take the first half first. Edidaskata. Edidaskata. What does that give us? Well, that's clearly imperfect, indicative, middle passive, third singular. So I'm going to translate that. He, she, it was being taught. Okay? Was being taught. Oh, look at, I'm going to look for a nominative. No, I don't see a nominative. I'm going to look for an accusative. What was being taught? Tein Sophian. He, she, or it was being taught the wisdom, tes horas, of the hour. So there's the first half of my sentence. Let's just call it he. He was being taught the wisdom of the hour, and now look for a verb on the second half of and. There it is. Ediokata. That again is imperfect, indicative, middle passive, third singular. And he was being pursued. Got a passive verb. Let's look for an agent. Sure enough, hipa tes basileias. And he was being pursued by the kingdom, tes hamartias, genitive, I'm going to translate it with of sin. And he was being pursued by the kingdom of sin. Okay. 6. Epeithesta hipa tes sophias tes cardias, kai kradze phone tes exousias. And a question mark at the end. Okay, I've got a comma and, so it tells me again, compound sentence. Look for the first verb first. Epeithesta. That is imperfect, indicative, middle passive, and epeithesta, that second plural. So it's y'all were being persuaded. Persuaded. Y'all were being persuaded. So I've got a passive verb. Well, when I'm dealing with the second person, I'm usually not going to find a nominative, right? And sure enough, no nominative to serve as subject. It's just y'all. And so I'm going to look for agency now, since I'm in the passive voice. And sure enough, I have hipa plus a genitive. Y'all were being persuaded, hipa te sophias, by the wisdom, tes cardias, of genitive, of the heart, and kradze phone tes exousias. Kradze is a verb. It's present, indicative, active. And how does that go? O, ace, a, third singular. Third singular for kradze, cry out. So, and he cries out phone. So do I see a nominative? I don't. Do I see an accusative? I don't. So we're just going to go through the words in order. And he cries out phone. Translate my datives with to, with, for. And he cries out with a voice. With a voice, tes exousias. We can say with the voice, because tes, with the voice of exousias, of authority. So with the voice of authority, and it's a question. So y'all were being persuaded by the wisdom of the heart, and so were all y'all being persuaded by the wisdom of the heart, and is he crying out with the voice of authority? And 7. Apathneskusin in tais hamartias, tes kephales kai tes cardias. Where's my verb? Apathneskusin. That is present, indicative, active. Third, plural from apathnesko, so that's they are dying. They are dying. Do I have a nominative? I do not. Do I have an accusative to be the direct object? I don't. So I'm just going to take the words in order. They are dying en tais hamartiais, in the sins, tes kephales, of the head, genitive, so I translate it with of the head, kai, and tes cardias, genitive again, and of the heart. Okay, there are the correct sentences and parsings for chapter 5.